Hey, what is up there, guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of The Evolve. How you guys doing on today? You know what? I'm doing all right. So recently, well, actually on yesterday, someone had sent me a message. They said, Evolve, you gotta check this out. Vlad just went in on Eminem. I was like, what? I just did an episode of Vlad and Jamar. I was like, they're still talking? But then this person said, no, it's Adam22 and Vlad sitting down. It's like, what? Now, so we're going to take a listen to see what Adam22 and Vlad has to say now. It's kind of weird because I have not heard Adam22 like mention or talk about how because I hear him now talk a lot about him and how he's his favorite or whatnot or something like that. But before Rap Devil, before the whole beef with MGK, I never heard him mention it. So I'm interested to see what he has to say. I know what kind of expect from Vlad, but let's go ahead and play.
When you interviewed Royce and you talked about the whole beef
with Yellow Wolf,
which I really regret that I didn't know what the beef was over. But Lord Jamar aired it out on your podcast, or on here, correct?
Well, but your interview came after mine, I think.
Did it? Somebody, right after I did that interview, somebody told me it might have been discussed on Joe Budden's podcast or something, but when I did the Royce interview...
I really don't care about this, but let's keep it listening.
Apparently saying the N-word and feeling entitled to say the N-word.
Yeah,
and telling a black dude that he was going to get used to it.
Yeah, and everyone claimed that I just made all that up. But me and Royce talked about it afterwards, and I'm not going to talk about the conversation we had afterwards, but notice how Royce is not denying anything that I said.
I mean, respect to Royce that he didn't feel the need to...
You guys always realize how I've never seen an interviewer so much try to, every single interview, they got to pad their stats or pat themselves on the back. They got to elevate themselves. Like every interview, you see I was right, large, you see, yep, and I've never seen that. It's never about interviewing the person at hand and getting to know their career and their music. It's always been about, remember what I said, or some drama type stuff with Vlad. And it's funny because he tries so hard. That's what it is. He tries so hard to get the black community to see that he's one of the good white people. I'm one of the good ones, Ma. Yeah, Ma. Let's play on. Just saying.
Air Yellow Wolf out on my podcast because that seems like, I don't know why he would give him that consideration. It seems like you would want to put him on blast for that. But Royce was, to his credit, trying to be very...
diplomatic.
Yeah, trying to be very mature about it.
The whole thing is kind of weird because Yellow Wolf has a black wife and mixed kids.
See, he's trying to create a narrative. He's trying to get Adam to talk about this.
And that type of situation is really fucking weird to me. But
it's so funny because he's trying to get Adam, which is a white person, to go at Yellow Wolf, which is another white person. He loves that type of, whether it's white on white or black on black crime. It's always good for his channel. So he's putting out little nuggets. Hey, he's got a black wife. Ain't that interesting? Come on, Adam, you got to say something about, the hypocrisy, or I say hypocrisy, how hypocritical it is. So he steady tried to edge, and when Adam don't bite, then he moves on until he can find something, until the interviewers start talking and get all tangled up in his same petty drama. Let's go on.
Baffling to me.
Well, what did you think
Here we go.
of the Crooked Eye interview with Eminem, where Eminem says that yes, he is a guest in the House of Hip Hop?
Okay, can I pause before Adam speaks on that? Why everyone that comes on the Vlad channel, you have to ask them about Eminem? Now, I admit, this is a little refreshing, not seeing, Lord No Bar, Jammers, No Bar, I don't know where that comes from. Lord Jammers, Low No Bar. What am I talking about? Okay, not seeing him, but everybody that comes on, is you gonna ask anyone about their career? You use your platform to ask other people, not about their career, but about some other dude's career. Like, what does it matter what Adam22 think? But let's go on.
Did you see that, number one?
I read the quotes
of course
and articles,
he's
so I didn't actually watch that full interview, which I regret. Crooked's a good guy, and I want to watch that. But yeah, you know, I guess I feel it to a certain extent that I'm always like, I don't feel like a guest in the sense that, you know, I'm really out here just like begging for praise and wanting, like, you know, all these.
Is that what a guest is? Is that how you?
Is that
how you define the word guest in your mind?
No, but I mean, as a guest, don't you feel like as a white guy, there's a lot of.
So there was a sense of triggerness there, because you know. So Adam22, it's like, I don't see myself as a guest, you know, as basically I'm culture vulturing and I'm trying to get stuff out. And what does Vlad say? Is that what you see as a guest? Come on, let's define it. Is that what you're trying to say? Because I have admitted that I'm a guest inside of hip hop. So is that what you're trying to define? So right now I can see Vlad wants to get things straight. So he wants to make sure that since he said that he's a guest, he wants to make sure that he properly defined what he means. All right.
So that you're going to just kind of be like hip hop wise, that you're never going to feel like you're fully.
Is Vlad hip hop though?
In the same way.
I mean, he uses hip hop to build his platform.
There's a sense of like ownership about the culture that, as a white guy, it just never really feels like you're fully going to be able to speak from that perspective. There's always going to at least be a thin line separating you. And I mean,
I think it's more than a thin line. I think it's a thick line. Right. I think that you, no matter how many black friends you have, or if you have a black girlfriend or wife or black kids, or you've never met a white person in your life and you've just been around black people, like, you are not going to experience life in America as a black person when you're white.
Right. Obviously.
People are not going to look at you the same. People are not going to treat you the same. People are not going to interact with you the same. We come from a history in America of brutalization and slavery and forced breeding and, you know, all types of
true
nasty shit that is still ingrained in this country. And hip-hop was sort of born out of that experience. So you're not going to fully appreciate it as a white person. And I'm okay with that.
Okay.
That's how I feel.
No, yeah, I totally agree. And I think that no matter how much you do in hip-hop, you have that.
It's just, like I said, it's just, I want to stop right there. The thing is that Vlad, he just gets on here. He uses his platform to either boast himself up or to clear himself. Like, we didn't talk for the last 2 minutes and it was not a question. We done been on this and we haven't heard most people that come on there. They're still probably like, who's Adam22? I don't even know if he even introduced them. Like, that whole 2 minutes was just about what he feels and how he thinks and what it is. I mean, it's more, he wanted to more show the black people, like, I know, unlike Eminem, who's been saying a bunch of stuff, look, this is, I'm gonna go ahead and put out there. It doesn't matter, and he put in, it doesn't matter if you were with a black girl or whatnot. So his mind, even when he's not even trying, like, his mind is already, the default position is somewhere get back at him. Like, it's weird to me. Moving on.
Probably the white person who's contributed the most to hip hop, at least sonically.
I think Eminem, I think that's an interesting point. I think Eminem is the white person that's contributed the most to hip hop. Let me think about that for a second. I mean, there's also Rick Rubin.
Right, the label.
Okay, let's go on.
People, some producers.
The label people, the producers. I mean, Rick Rubin, I think, is the poster child for white producers that made a massive impact. But I would say if you look at contribution of Eminem versus Rick Rubin, I'd probably have to give it to Eminem.
No, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, of course. Now, you can definitely but I gotta give him credit. He gave it to Eminem But so like I imagine Vlad thinks that he is the most influential white person on this platform. But like I said, I give credit where credit's due. Of course, he's been more influential, and you can tell that he was trying, he was thinking. It's as if he didn't want to say it, but he said it. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Rick Rubin, he had his moment, and he's done things like, I believe, like Def Jam. It was started by Rick Rubin. There was a time when Def Jam, it was actually filmed and done right out of his like dorm in his house. But when you look at it, yeah, I mean, producing wise, like he brought on quite a few acts also, Rick Rubin, but I mean, besides 99 Problems, there haven't been much since then. But yeah, he had his impact, but Eminem has had a far greater with regards to the amount of music, the consistency, and the people that he put on. See, it's not just one thing to put on acts, but impact is based on not just the people you put on, but even their long lasting. You know, you can't just bring in someone like Lil Pump and, I put Lil Pump on, but you can't just bring people on for the sake of bringing people on. That person that you have bring, that person that you bring, you know, that speaks volume about your legacy too. It don't just stop there. You can't just bring anyone and say, look what impact I have, because if they're not having an impact, if they're destroying the place, then that's going to be your legacy. And everyone that Eminem has put on and the acts and whatnot, they have the longevity and everything that they have done for hip-hop and outside of hip-hop, I mean, it still goes on today. And I think that's one of the prime differences between Eminem's impact and so many, like your Rick Rubins and whatnot. But let's move on.
I think it says a lot that even Eminem, at the point that he's at in his career, that he still knows that it would be a bad look for him to sit there and say, like, no, I don't feel like a guest in this shit. I feel like I earned my place here. I work. And he
kind of said that in the songs, though. If you notice, like, his last two albums, when he mentioned Lord Jamar,
right,
he, you know, I belong here, clown. Don't tell me about the clown. Like, he's defending his position as not being a guest. And he starts naming all the people he put on and stuff like that, the 50 Cents and everything else. Like,
okay, let's stop there, because that was a song. And saying that I belong here is not the same thing as saying I'm disrespecting the culture and I am not a guest and I'm taking over this place. It means just exactly what he said. I belong here. I'm a part. Look what I have done. I am a part of this thing. Hip-hop. Hip-hop is not just what I do. It's who I am. You know, I belong here. It's not your place or anyone's place just because of your color to try to put me out. I've done my work. I done put in my work, and payday has came. When I go to my job, you know, if I work at, well, I run my own business, but you know, if I was at a job for like 30 years and put in the time and work, you know, I'm a part of that community. I belong there, whether I'm the owner there or not. I mean, come on now. So that's what he was saying. And like I was saying, there's a difference between, you know, how you portray yourself in a song and then in a interview. In an interview setting, you can sit and you can explain yourself, but in song, you know, things are hyped up in words and syllables, and you only have so many words to express and explain and time. Vlad wouldn't get that because he hosts couch sitters. He don't do hip hop.
No, I think he reversed his stance because I don't think
he didn't reverse his stance. He never had a stance.
You know, I fought him for it.
I mean, and there's a difference between like your tone in a boastful ass rap song and your tone when you're sitting there with crooked eye. And
that's what I'm saying.
Really
that's exactly what I just said.
Asking you about your position in the culture. It's just that, like, I feel like me or you, even if we were to, you know, without question, without any compromise, be able to say, like, if 10 years from now, people are able to look at No Jumper and be like, No Jumper is basically the greatest media company that's ever existed in hip hop. Adam has helped to create such an insane amount of content. It's the best hip hop media company of all time. I still feel like I'm going to have to enter conversations about my place in hip hop and what I have contributed to hip hop, as coming at least as an outsider.
And this has been long. This has been quite well. Let's go ahead and play some more.
Guest sort of entails some strange things, because it's like, okay, if I'm a guest at your house, then I have to carry myself in a slightly different way. I have to be like,
correct.
Vlad, is it cool if I use the bathroom?
Right. You can't put the furniture in a whole different place.
Why does he always sound like he got stuffy nose, Vlad?
I think we actually have the metaphor logged down pretty.
Okay, alright guys, I'm gonna go ahead and stop right there. It wasn't too much in here. It was just Vlad slightly stroking himself on couch sitters once again, and also trying to set up the dialogue that Eminem reversed his stance and was basically lying when he said, absolutely, I'm a guest, I've never said otherwise. And he was just lying, because he's always said he always tried to make himself seem like he wasn't a guest because of that song, and because I don't know, Vlad can't understand or how to break bars or actually just read the general grammar of English and knowing. But anyway, that's that. Like to know what you all think. As always, KIP, keep it positive. I'll see y'all next video.